Support for Cinema Classics comes from Film Columbus, enriching our community to make Columbus a destination for film education, exhibition, and production. Learn more at filmcolumbus.com. Cinema Classics is produced by John DeSando and Johnny DiLoretto. Listen to shows every Thursday at 8:01 p.m. and full versions online at WCBE.org. I'm Johnny DiLoretto.
I'm John DeSando.
This is Cinema Classics.
Yeah, it is. And we've got a real classic coming up, remade. A Star is Born.
Yes. I saw the trailer for that. Bradley Cooper's directorial debut.
Okay.
He's remaking A Star is Born, which has been remade. Do you know how many times?
I know Barbra Streisand's, but
I think it was the original was Frederick March and Janet Gaynor. Then it was James Mason and Judy Garland.
Right.
Then in the 70s, it was Barbra Streisand and Chris Christopherson. And now it's Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. Now, don't you think that's kind of silly? Can't she use her real name? When you go see a movie and there's somebody's giving a serious performance, do you want to be like, oh my God, Lady Gaga was so amazing. It seems juvenile, doesn't it?
It got her to the point where she can make that movie with Bradley Cooper. So,
yeah.
But I guess our real point here is that we're looking at Hollywood on Hollywood.
Yeah. Movies about movies.
Movies about movies about movies. I doubt if there's any industry where people are more interested than in filmmaking, and particularly Hollywood filmmaking. So I've got a...
Well, the car industry can't really make a movie about itself.
Right.
That would be a drag.
Yeah.
So of course, movies are going to be about movies. Some of them, because it's interesting. Yeah. It's great. So why not double up on it?
2 years ago, almost an Oscar winner, La La Land.
Oh yeah, wow, that is a great movie.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Here you're talking about actors trying to make it in Hollywood, and what I like about most of the films about Hollywood on Hollywood is it's usually not sugar-coated. Don't you think? Frequently,
I don't know about that.
James Mason. When you look at some of the bad boys, Kirk Douglas.
Okay.
The Bad and the Beautiful. I'm thinking of
James Mason and what?
In A Star is Born.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
I see. Yeah, there's sometimes a dark element. I think La La Land obviously is an example of the other, but maybe that's because it's such a full-on musical.
Yeah, and what I liked about La La Land is that its ending is uncompromising. They're not together anymore.
Right.
They can't do it together out there. So I thought that was a really positive way of presenting it.
But let me jump back to what you were saying. You're right about the darkness. There's oftentimes a dark streak running through some of these movies. Most pronounced in The Player.
Yes.
Remember that?
Oh, I do.
Robert Altman
1992.
movie?
Yeah, what a great movie.
Kind of a murder mystery, a comedy.
Yes.
Had some weird, it was just weird. That movie had such a strange tone. I wasn't used to that at that point.
Well, my strange one is Mulholland Drive.
That is off the charts strange.
It's
It's so off the charts, I've never tried to find it again. But I know a lot of people love that movie.
Oh yeah, I do too. I think the female leads are particularly good. One of my favorites.
A movie that is funny, that is about classic Hollywood, but is also dark as can be.
Okay.
As the Coen brothers, Barton Fink.
Oh, Barton Fink! And I had to list it because it says much about writing.
Right, but specifically writing for Hollywood.
Yes.
And he's loosely based on Clifford Odets, having come off of all this Broadway success of his. And Odets was known at that time for writing plays that had like communist streaks through them.
Yes.
And so, that comes up when Barton gets the offer to go to Hollywood and write screenplays, and he can't sell out, that's the whole struggle of the movie. Yeah. He's finding it hard to write these dopey screenplays. And they have William Faulkner in there, that character. You remember?
Yes.
Played by John Mahoney, or John Mahoney. John
Okay.
Mahoney, the late John Mahoney.
Yeah.
Anyway, great movie.
Well, I just remember the big fire was such a great symbol.
Yes, and the suggestion that there's a head in that box at the end of the movie. It's a dark movie.
You know, as you think back, remember The Artist, which won, I think, Best Picture.
I do remember The Artist vaguely. It seems like a blip.
Yeah, and we talked about that too, whether it deserved it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of a lyrical look at old Hollywood. But I don't believe there's anything really dark about that. That's kind of a fantasy.
Yeah, that was like up in the La La Land end of the spectrum. Another one that I think you have on there that I love is Get Shorty.
Oh, I was just gonna say, John Travolta is a bad boy. He's a producer.
It is one of his great performances. You know, John Travolta, we think of him now, like he's done this so many times in his career where he sort of sets the bar for being cool, and then slowly takes the bar and seems, I don't know what he does. He destroys it. He becomes a joke again, you know. And I think right now we're at that phase where John Travolta is no longer cool.
I know.
However, in Get Shorty, he is supremely cool.
Based on the Elmore Leonard novel.
Yeah.
And he's a somewhat of a mobster.
It's called Rum Punch. The book was Rum Punch.
Okay. And he thinks he might like to try. It's it's like Orson Welles, and I think it'd be fun to run a newspaper.
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Yeah, he wants to make a movie.
Right, he wants to make a movie.
He's supposed to go shake this guy down for money, but he's a producer played by Gene Hackman, another great performance.
Oh wow!
And he becomes enamored of this industry. He wants to do it. He thinks he can do it, and he loves movies.
Yes.
And he's obsessed with Touch of Evil.
He is. And how about the tension when he has to take the girlfriend or the wife out? Do you remember that when they have to go out to the club, and she puts the moves on him, and the poor guy is getting sucked in into the Hollywood myth.
That's great.
So I love that too, and that was 1995. Singing in the Rain.
Yeah.
You know, everybody I'll bet of all that list.
The La La Land of the 50s.
Wow, yeah, 1952. Nothing dark there, I think.
Not that I can recall.
Yeah.
No, like I said, they're not always going to have that dark element to them. Some of them are really celebratory. That's certainly one of them.
Yeah. The Aviator in 2004.
Ah, yawn.
Howard Hughes.
That's not. It's really more about Howard Hughes.
It is. I know one that I think you liked and I liked. And I don't know why I have it on here. Tropic Thunder?
Tropic Thunder, that's great. That's Ben Stiller playing, he's like an action, or he's like a movie star.
That's right.
And he has just made a really dumb movie, and he's trying to redeem himself by making a Vietnam War movie. So him and his crew, Jack Black and Robert Downey Jr., they head out to the jungles to train for a movie, and they think they're shooting it, and in reality they're caught in a real crossfire. That movie is significant for one more extra sort of cinematic wrinkle, which is Tom Cruise's cameo as Les Grossman, the bombastic, vile producer.
Great role for him.
And it was very specific. That role was specifically designed to surprise the audiences and endear them to him again, having come off of that whole couch jumping debacle, and everybody thought he was a weirdo and whatnot. And he did this part, and that small little role, and he is brilliant in it, almost unrecognizable under the fat suit. But he's really hilarious, and that did turn his the second phase of his career around. Yeah,
and you were talking, just to come back just a minute to Travolta, after Pulp Fiction, I think this is when the Get Shorty came. I believe it was.
It was like right after.
Yeah, right after. So he was kind of riding high.
Right.
And your whole thesis about cool.
Oh yeah, and there was an anecdote about that when he was getting that script. He was asking Tarantino, what should I do next? And Tarantino looked at him and he goes, you definitely do this one. You definitely do Get Shorty. And he showed him the script and he was like, okay, you can't do this. the studio had taken out all of Elmore Leonard's dialogue, changed it, and he said, "Do not do this unless they put all of that stuff back in there." And he did, and they ended up with that.
Oh, excellent.
Right, but then he started making stupid choices right after that, and then it was, down the rabbit hole.
Well, perhaps we could end on The Darkness, and with one that next to Singing in the Rain is perhaps the best known of all of these. And that would be in 1962, Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, man. Yeah. Wow.
And again, are we talking writer?
Yes, the writer sucked in, the person of ideals, the person with some sort of intellectual, worth, being sucked into some just downward spiral of narcissism and grotesquerie. Yes, that is a great one.
And we won't even talk about Trumbo or Ed Wood or any of the others. We've got some good ones in here.
All you got to do is Google best movies about movies.
Right.
And some of these are going to come up.
All right.
All right.